Hello everybody, Kirk here with Space Pickle Designs, and welcome back to my beading mat. You are probably familiar with some of the components on this beading mat. I just kind of want to play around tonight, so I hope that's okay. I did bring out some of the All That Glitters kit from Softflex because I think it really matches this palette of kind of upcycled components or like salvaged components that I have. So I have those 3 sizes of pearls from the necklace, as well as these components over here, and I did want to just play around with them. I think I want to try to make a necklace, but I want to go ahead and just see if I can make a really cute ring. And I think what I'm going to do is use that ring blink from the box. And I think this is going to be so super easy, and I think it's something that you'll be able to find something that will probably work as well with your components. And so I salvaged some of these flowers, which were just so cute, and I have 2 of these small pearls, and so I'm going to attach them and let me find some jump rings that are of a similar color, because we all know how many different shades of gold there are. We'll just have to run with those because I like how small they are. And so these are maybe a 4 or a 3 millimeter, and I only need them for my flowers because, as you can see, they're like soldered rings and they're not they don't open. So what I want to do is stagger the pearls. So I'm going to put the pearls on the 2 and 4 position, and so let's go ahead and get those on. And I really want this to be bobbly, so if we're not getting the effect we want with this many beads, then we can add some more. And so let's put that, I put it in the 2. Oh, it's already so fun. It's already so fun. And 4. And again, I left these open because I knew the beads were not going to come off. And it just helps not to overwork your components. And so from here, I'm going to let me do it right. Get some of these small jump rings for the flowers. I want to see if this flower looks big enough. If not, we can I think what I want to do is I might want to put a focal flower, and I know that sounds crazy because this is already a crazy ring, but let's go ahead. I'll put these on the sides, so in that 1 in 5 position. It's already so fun. And I was gonna do something super crazy fancy, but I feel like it's a little misleading. You don't have to be that crazy with stuff to have fun with it. And I just liked this component and how cool it was. So this is what it looks like so far. We could actually, since we have, I was thinking maybe that's too big. We would need something kind of like this, but it would also so let me open this up. So this is what we're working with, right? And so if I put this on there, it's still gonna bobble back and forth. And so some people really don't like that. I actually don't know if I mind it, but I think I'm just gonna keep it just a fun. I don't think I'll put a focal on it. I may put a focal. How about this? I'll put a focal pearl. So I'll take one of the big pearls. Let's see what that looks like, because that could be cute too. Because if it's a charm ring, you're expecting it to kind of flop around. If you have a big focal like that, you're kind of you kind of want it to stay straight up. So here's our little, look how big that pearl is. So what I think we have to do, because it's not as full as I want it to be, and I think the fullness is what's going to make it fun, I think we just add more and more until we're like, yep, that's good. And so we do have more. I have 2 more of these flowers, so I think I'm going to stagger them with the pearls, the smaller pearls. And what I don't want is there to be like, I want them to both to be able to move freely, so I won't like stack them if they're not flopping freely, because that's like the fun part. So you're just getting these really tiny jump rings, and you can make these yourself, y'all. You just have to find something really small to wrap around, which is something I love making jump rings. I make custom jump rings too, like twisted ones, and they're just so fun. So I do want to go on this side. That's so cute. I think we need more, we're gonna need more pearls. Do we want to go with the medium size? Is the medium size too big? How about we share the medium size on both sides of the big pearl? I'll show you what I mean. So like, here's the loop of the big pearl, right? Like, let's not go into the ring base. We're just gonna go on each side of this pearl and see if it works. That's with the medium size. So we have one side, we would flip the pearl over, have another medium. And you could do this with any bead in your kit, your All That Glitters kit, like any of that Jesse James bead mix. So I'm trying to see if, I think this is gonna be big enough. It's just trying to get that in there. There's definitely a big enough hole. It's just maneuvering it. There we go. Right. All right. Let's try it on. Oh, she's coming together. She's coming together. I still think it needs a few more, as long as it's not like detracting. So we'll add a couple of more of the small ones. And they will fit in this last one without impeding. And what I mean by impeding, like impeding on the space that other flower needs to kind of flop around. Oh my gosh, I love it. I do want to keep the flowers on the outside, so when I attach my pearl, I'm attaching it on the inside. Right there. Okay. Look at that. What are we thinking? I kind of want to put some more like gold components in there. So let me see what I have, and I'll be right back. So I wasn't able to find anything with that like perfect gold color, and I think it really looks pretty good as is. I was just looking for a little bit more fullness, but I think the fullness is going to mess with the like floppiness of it, which I really, really like and I'm enjoying. So I'll just zoom you out just a little bit. This is kind of what she looks like. And I think it is such a fun little way to use that ring blink. So you can definitely just make a charm ring with whatever you have. They actually sent some head pins with this kit. So if you have the kit, then you can definitely just make some charms out of your Jesse James bead mix or the crystals or whatever. And so yeah, I think I'm gonna keep her like this. I do love the addition of the cream flowers. I think those are just so cute. And yeah, let's go ahead and try another project. So I do want to make kind of a statement necklace, and I want to use all the pearls that I have left and some of these components. Now it's really hard for me to use these because they're just so cute, but I want to see if I can make like a slider. And this is like probably, I would say this is probably a 12mm jump ring. And what I want to do is feed on 3 of these. This is not going to fit. I'm going to have to make a custom one probably. It is too thick of a jump ring. So let me go see if I can find some either thinner ones, or I'll just make some of my own. All right, so I actually found some smaller ones. They're like way smaller. This is probably an 8 and they're in a smaller gauge, but I tried it and it looks like it's gonna work. And so you essentially just feed on your 3 charms here, because I knew like putting them together would kind of create this like pretty closed off shape, a pretty complete shape, so to speak. So essentially take like, if they are like this, it is taking up like that, almost the whole diameter. So this is actually probably the perfect size. I was not judging it correctly when I saw those big jump rings. I thought maybe that's what I would have needed, but that would have been way too big and it would have been way too floppy, and that's not really what I'm going for. And so really what you want to do, and it's a little difficult, you really want to make sure that your jump rings are closed. These are really thick components, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue, but I just want to make sure that we're not like fixing this later, you know what I mean? So it's pretty difficult to do, but using your fine nose pliers and just rocking back and forth until you get that tight fit. All right, so I made one of those already, and I just made the one with you on camera. Again, just kind of doing those micro adjustments. So what I want to do now, I think these are going to be sliders, and I'm going to use some of the soft flex. So I'm going to zoom you out a little bit so you can kind of get a full like picture of what I'm doing. I'm going to clean up the area a little bit. I have these big old, I love a thick jump ring. Just brings a lot of stability. But I have like these 2 sliders, and kind of what I want to do is have the pearl component in the middle of the 2 sliders. And so what I'm going to do now is take all the components and actually close the jump rings on these, just like that, so that we can go ahead and slide them on either bead thread or beading wire like the soft flex. And so I won't make you watch this, but this is what I'm gonna do. So this is editing Kirk here, and I lost some footage when it came to creating this component. And so what I did, I just kind of wanted to show you. I didn't want to scrap the whole project because I thought it may give some inspiration to you folks just to see it. So what I did was, after I closed all the jump rings on my pearls, or closed all the loops on my pearls, I split them up into size. And so I took half of the small ones, half of the medium ones, and then all of the large ones, half of the medium ones, and half of the small ones. And what I did was I took 2 barrel beads from the All That Glitters mix here, and so you see I still have a couple left. I used some of that soft flex wire here. I just did a magical crimp on the end to make a loop. I put a barrel bead. I put on my slider, so through that jump ring in the middle. I put on another barrel bead, and then I fed half of my small ones, half of my middle ones, all my large ones, half of my middle ones, half of my small ones, and then I repeated the process on the other side, being that it was another barrel crystal slider and then barrel crystal, and then I did another magical crimp. All right, so that's how I made that component. It's just simple stringing. It looks a lot more complex than it is, but if you can see in there, it is just simple stringing for this component. So let's get back into the tutorial. Sorry about that, guys. I'll try to make sure that doesn't happen in the future. So I have my middle component here. I've split my pre-made necklace into 2 even lengths, and I use that by measuring like the actual large lengths, not including the extender chain, obviously. And so I just unhooked them, or undid the ring and then redid it, because we are going to attach these with jump rings, and I'm hoping I can get 2 jump rings in here. I think I might be able to. Because as we've seen, like, we kind of need that reinforcement if we can. The only reason I'm comfortable with these sliders being on 1 jump ring is because there's no like weight bearing on them. And so I was able to get 2 jump rings on here, but I want to make sure that the 2 smaller ones are not going to overlap each other. I want them to sit side by side. So there's the first little component, and you can do your micro adjustments, which is what I will probably do off camera, just to make double sure that we're good to go. And since this like middle component is so heavy, because the pearls are glass pearls, they're really nice. I'm so happy I got that necklace. I think my mom sent that to me, so thank you, Mom, for sending that. And look at her. Isn't she just everything? She's so cute. She's so classy. It's almost like she's almost a little springy. And I'm not mad at that, because winter has not been it. Like, ever since I moved from Alaska, winter just hasn't been the same here in Colorado. So let me go ahead and lay her out so we can get a better look at her and the ring, because I'm going to put on the ring, of course, and we'll wrap this video up. All right, so here are our 2 little projects we did using some of the components from All That Glitters and some of our harvested components. So we definitely made that really cool ring, and I have a feeling my mom is going to want to steal this, so I'll probably just set this aside for her. Knowing her, she loves a good pearl. She likes like the dark pearls too, so maybe this might not be up her alley, but I think it will, just because of how fun it is. I think this whole set will probably be up her alley, so I'll probably just set that off aside for her. But I really like how we kind of repurposed those pearls and some of the charms that came with it. And so these components right here will spin. They're a little bit of a spinner. And so I think that's kind of the fun of it. Like, it will look different from time to time. Like, sometimes you'll have a white facing front, and then other times you'll have more of a gold facing front when it comes to the sliders. And I just think that is just so fun. And it kind of like this too, if you're a fidgeter, it's just like a fidgeter's dream. So let me know what you thought about this little project down below, and have you made something like this? If you have, I would love to see pictures over on Instagram or through my email, spacepickledesigns@gmail.com. And I hope you guys are staying safe and well and warm, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.